66 million years ago, the Earth was a kingdom of giants, a world ruled by flesh and claw, for an epoch so vast it defies human comprehension. But this reign was destined to end, not with a slow decline, but in a moment of cosmic violence. The most widely accepted chronicle of this demise begins with a traveler from the void. An asteroid or comet, perhaps 10 kilometers wide, tore through the heavens on a collision course with destiny. It struck near the modern-day Yucatan Peninsula, a hammer blow from the cosmos that unleashed energy billions of times greater than any atomic weapon. The impact vaporized rock and water, carving a scar in the planet's crust over 180 kilometers across. A global firestorm incinerated forests, and colossal tsunamis scoured the coastlines. But the immediate devastation was only the prelude. A thick shroud of pulverized rock and soot was blasted into the atmosphere, a funeral veil that enveloped the globe. Sunlight was choked off. For months, perhaps years, a perpetual twilight fell upon the world. Photosynthesis failed, plants withered, and the intricate food web, built over millennia, collapsed from the bottom.
Another theory points to a more insidious killer, rising from the Earth itself. In what is now India, immense volcanic eruptions, the Deccan Traps, were spewing unfathomable volumes of gas and ash into the sky. This planetary fever could have poisoned the atmosphere, unleashing torrents of acid rain and triggering a runaway greenhouse effect that radically altered the climate. Perhaps it was not one single event, but a one-two punch of catastrophe from above and below that sealed the dinosaurs' fate. Their extinction created a profound silence, a void in the grand story of life. It was in this void that new protagonists could emerge. The small, furtive mammals, once living in the shadows of giants, found a world emptied of its masters. This was the opportunity that ultimately led to primates, to hominids, and to us. But what if the celestial dice had rolled differently? What if the impact had missed, or the volcanoes had slumbered? In a world where the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction never happened, the story of humanity would be entirely rewritten, if it were written at all. The evolution of mammals would have been brutally suppressed. In a world still dominated by colossal predators, our ancestors may never have descended from the tree. To imagine civilization coexisting with these creatures is to imagine a world of permanent, terrifying awe. The silhouette of a brachiosaurus grazing from the treetops of a city park, its long neck eclipsing the glass and steel of skyscrapers. The ground-shaking tread of a triceratops herd migrating across the Great Plains, forcing highways and railways to a standstill. Humanity's instinct to conquer and commodify nature would be tested to its absolute limit. Perhaps we would ranch hadrosaurs for their meat, their herds contained within immense fortified enclosures. Yet this coexistence would be a life lived on a knife's edge. The apex predators would not be lions or bears, but tyrannosaurs and allosaurs, creatures of immense power and appetite, for whom a human would be little more than a fleeting meal. Our cities would not be open metropolises, but walled fortresses, built for defense against incursions far more terrifying than any modern threat. Security would be a constant primal concern. The balance of power would be irrevocably shifted. In such a world, humanity would be reminded of a fundamental truth, that we are not the inevitable masters of this planet, but merely one successful species whose dominance was born from the ashes of another. To live in the shadow of the dinosaurs would be to understand our own fragility, to know that the history of life is not a steady march of progress, but a chaotic and violent epic, where empires of flesh can be erased in a single terrible day. In a world not defined by their absence, our survival would hinge on understanding. Vast research initiatives would be launched, not to unearth fossils, but to chart the living behavior of primordial titans. An entirely new field of study would emerge, dedicated to mapping the tendencies and territorial claims of these magnificent, dangerous creatures. From the earliest age, educational programs would ingrain a deep, instinctual reverence, a respect born from proximity to unimaginable power. This reimagined Earth would possess a savage, unparalleled beauty, its ecosystem shaped not by human hands, but by the thunderous footfalls of giants. The scenario serves as a stark reminder of nature's intricate and often brutal complexity. Their extinction was not merely an event, it was the foundational act that allowed our own world to arise, a silent testament to how profoundly a single absence can define all of existence.